Hello, beautiful friends. Welcome. I wanted to drop in today and connect with you all, share a little bit about what our current energies are, how we can work with the particular flavor of energy that we're in right now, that we are all experiencing. And I almost honestly didn't record this video today because I am feeling very depleted in this moment, quite fatigued and just drained. But I still wanted to show up because I think this fatigue, this sense of drainage, this maybe tiredness is part of the quality of the current energies that we're in. And it just felt important for me to just show up, even if my energy feels a little bit dimmer, even if I feel like my light is a bit softer. It's still me. It's still an authentic expression of where I'm at right now. And I just feel like it's important for me for this space to continue showing up even in those moments of my life. So I have a little cup of hot tea here, which is always just so calming and nourishing for my soul. And I invite you to get yourself cozy and comfortable. Grab yourself a hot, warm beverage as well if you'd like. And let's just have a little soul sesh and dive into talking about perhaps some of the energies that you might be feeling, that I've definitely been feeling. I might share a little bit about what's been going on for me as well these past couple weeks. And hopefully this will just be a safe, nourishing space for you to land wherever you're coming from in your day. The first theme that is really alive right now with our current energies, especially if you're watching this video around the time that I'm posting it, which is around the time of the full moon in Aries, which is happening on Sunday, the 9th. There's a really big invitation right now to pause, to slow down. There is so much change happening all around us and also within you. And taking just a little pause in your life to reflect on everything that you've been experiencing, all of the change and all of the growth that you have been going through. Just allowing yourself to really recognize that. Maybe surveying your year, recognizing just the change that you've been going through. Because right now, we are in a massive portal of transformation. We are in a space right now where you are really becoming, integrating the next version of who you are becoming in your life. The next version of how you are showing up. The next version of the messages that you are here to share. Right? We're in this really potent portal of transformation. And in order to really lean in to the next phase of our lives, we get to slow down. We get to pause. We can't really change and evolve if we're still stuck in this automatic cycle of doing the same habits, the same routines, the same behaviors, the same thought patterns over and over again. So when we really give ourselves the space, just a brief moment in time, I mean, it could be a long moment in time, whatever feels resonant for you. But giving yourself that pause right now is one of the most powerful things you can do. To really allow yourself to create some separation, some space between who you've been and who you are becoming. There's nothing to do in this spaciousness. Just allowing yourself to receive, to be. The second big theme that is really potent right now is a big invitation to let go. again, in this portal of transformation, you are becoming and stepping into this next version, this next iteration of your evolvement, of your ascension, of your becoming. And in order for us to change, we're always changing, we're always evolving. But in order to really consciously step in to this next embodiment of yourself, it really requires an active letting go. And this is the space and time right now. We see it in the season itself. The seasons are letting go, right? The leaves are falling, the seasons are changing, the days are becoming shorter, the nights are becoming longer. Everything is changing. And pausing to allow your body to catch up with the seasons, with this cycle of change is so important. And also bringing conscious recognition to what you are being invited to let go of in this season of your life. How can you make yourself feel lighter right now? Maybe there's particular beliefs, mindsets that it's time to release. Maybe it's patterns, habits, addictions, ways of being in your life that it's time to release. Maybe it's an entire identity that it is time to release. Maybe you can't quite pinpoint exactly what you are meant to release, but you can still bring this intention to let go of what is no longer in alignment, letting go of what feels heavy in your body. I'm finding for myself right now what's been really healing is being in meditation and just creating space and opportunity for my body to release some of the heavy, dense energy that I've been carrying and holding on to. Because there's so much going on in the world right now, and it is really heavy. So as we carry these energies, especially as empaths, we subconsciously take on a lot of these energies, storing them in our bodies, storing the pain of people in our bodies. Recognize, are you holding on to things right now, energetically, subconsciously, that isn't really yours? Are you holding on to beliefs, pain, trauma, suffering that isn't really yours? And can you let that go? Can you come back to this space of lightness, of peace? It leads me to another big theme that I've really been playing with in my own life over these past couple weeks, where I've really been in the heaviness. And it has been this reminder and this invitation to protect my light, to protect my inner light. One of my gifts to the world, and yours as well for a lot of you, is your light. It's the levity that you bring, it's the love that you bring, it's the connection that you bring, it's your light. That is your gift. We each have a light within us. That is our gift. And when we're really going through these periods of pain or difficulty or, just fatigue or whatever it is that you're going through right now, because I really do see that there's a lot of heaviness, a lot of heaviness right now in each of our lives in our own unique ways. Maybe that's not true for everyone, but definitely around me, that's what I'm seeing and what I'm experiencing for myself. So I do feel this invitation to really protect your light in whatever means you need to do that. Maybe it's setting boundaries with certain people in your life. Maybe it's setting boundaries on social media, which is something that I've had to be more conscious of because I've been so active on social media. More than I usually am. I usually have pretty strong boundaries, but over these last few weeks with everything going on in Iran, which is my home country, I have felt a very strong sense of obligation, but also desire to show up strongly and be a voice for the Iranian people on Instagram, which is where a lot of my energy has been over the last couple weeks. And I have had to come back to the reality that it has been really draining me as well to be so 24/7 online and connected, constantly scrolling and being up to date, to be up to date with what's going on so I can share and inform. And we have to also recognize that in order to be the most powerful voice that we can be, in order to be the strongest activist that you can be, in order to just show up in your life in whatever ways you're showing up in the strongest way that you can, you really have to protect yourself first. You really have to honor your boundaries, and again, coming back to protecting your light. So for me, that's come up in setting more boundaries around social media, creating. I'm still working on this, to be honest. I'm like, wow, I'm telling myself to do this and I haven't really been doing it because I've still been so in the loop of scrolling and just being aware and sharing and all of that jazz. But I do want to bring more intention for myself as well to create better boundaries around social media so I can still go on and share and be informed, but also create more space for myself to come back and to restore so I can show up from a deeper sense of power and clarity and light from within myself. So setting boundaries can be one way. I found I just picked up these sunflowers here because I wanted, and I feel as well, this other invitation in the same topic of protecting my light, of restoring my light, of just surrounding myself with more beauty, getting out in nature. I've been doing a lot of hikes, picking up some flowers. Every time I see these sunflowers in my kitchen, it reminds me of my light. It reminds me that I am a beam of light like these sunflowers, and they just reflect my light back to me. So protecting your light in whatever way that feels resonant for you. And bringing it back to the seasons, of course, the days are getting shorter, the nights are getting longer. The darkness is here. We can feel it, right? The season, you can just feel that the air has shifted, the energy has shifted. So bringing that light, connecting to your light in whatever way feels resonant for you is a really beautiful way to keep your energy grounded and to stay in your light. So that is another theme, along with letting go. And the last theme that feels really alive right now is that of ancestral healing. And I think I want to go more into this. I have a few people in mind that I'd like to interview and connect with on this topic of ancestral healing. People who have a lot more knowledge and experience about ancestral healing in a very practical way. Side note, one thing I'm really excited to bring you very soon is that I am bringing I am recording another season of my podcast. If you're not familiar, I have a podcast. It's called Soul Sesh. I did the first season last year, and I'm in the process right now of recording for the second season. So there's going to be so many incredible interviews and conversations with healers, artists, spiritual entrepreneurs, and we go really, really deep into soulful conversations that empower us to learn and to connect with more ways to really stand in our authentic power, our creative power, and to create the lives that really feel aligned and fulfilling for us. So just a little teaser there, but I am thinking that I want to connect with some people and bring you some conversations about ancestral healing on the Soul Sesh podcast. But Anyways, this is a big theme right now in ancestral healing. And whether you're consciously aware of it or not, there's likely some aspect of your lineage that you are healing right now, that you are being invited to really look into. So pay attention. I mean, for me, the ancestral healing that I've been experiencing has been so obvious in my life because, again, it reflects everything that is going on in Iran right now with this massive revolution for women's rights and freedom. The entire country is in a revolution right now, and it's been horrific, it's been painful, it's been inspiring beyond words, it's been beautiful, it's been hopeful, and it's brought up so much for me about the ancestry and the lineage that I come from. I shared an Instagram post yesterday about this, but one thing that I've really been noticing that's been coming up for me as I've been witnessing and really participating in this revolution that's going on in Iran, I've also been noticing this really deep revolution that's been going on for me personally. And I've been becoming consciously aware that so much of my life, I'm a second generation Canadian. I was born in Canada. My parents were born in Iran and were refugees into Canada. And then I was born in Canada. And so much of my life was spent subconsciously separating myself from my ancestry, from my lineage as an Iranian, from my Iranian ancestry. Because from such a young age, I received so much programming and narrative through Western media and just all around me that the Iranian culture that I come from was backwards, was really horrific. There was just this really strong narrative that I remember from such a young age that my ancestry was something that I felt guilty and shamed towards. And I remember from a young age wanting to, subconsciously at the time, I wasn't aware of what was going on, but subconsciously wanting to separate myself from my lineage in order to feel a deeper sense of belonging and in order to feel like I fit in with the North American, Canadian cultural norms. And over these last few weeks, as I've been watching and witnessing the immense courage and bravery of the women of Iran, the people of Iran, how they are literally on the forefront, on the streets, risking their life for very basic human rights. They are being killed, not even risking their lives. They're literally being killed on the streets by their government for asking for freedom, freedom to wear what they want, freedom to do what they want, freedom to say what they want, to be able to create art, to be able to create poetry, to be able to sing, to be able to dance, to be able to dress the way they want. I mean, these are very basic, fundamental human rights that they are revolting for, that they are asking for, and that they are dying for. And as I've been here witnessing my people fighting for what they want, it has also allowed me to remember and to witness the truth of the lineage that I come from. The truth that my lineage is that of warriors. My lineage is that of artists, of freedom fighters, of revolutionaries, of change makers. My lineage is the most courageous and brave people in the world that are fighting in such a courageous way. And there's been this really deep healing, ancestral healing for me to remember that I come from this lineage too. And all of this beautiful power and light and bravery and courage that I see in the Iranian people also lives within me. So there has just been, and I'm getting like chills as I say this right now, but it's really been this huge recognition and remembrance of where I come from, which has not only been so inspiring, but it's also created a sense of freedom within myself too. Because I am now, for really the first time in 33 years, freeing this part of me, this lineage within me that I have also been suppressing and repressing all of my life. So that's the ancestral healing that I've been going through. And yours might look very different. For you, it might be healing some sort of trigger or trauma within maybe your maternal line or your paternal line. Maybe it's a recognition of some form of beauty within your lineage. There's countless ways that ancestral healing is going on in your life. Maybe, again, pay attention to your relationships right now with your family and with your lineage, and pay attention to how that's showing up for you. Because if there's something happening right now within your family or within your lineage as a whole, it's probably happening because there's some form of healing that is either being invited to come forth or that you're in right now. So just pay attention to that, because ancestral healing is definitely a very big theme right now that is inviting us into, it can feel very painful. It can feel very heavy. It can feel very traumatic in a lot of situations. And on the other side of that is such liberation. So yeah, these are just some of the themes that I wanted to share with you. And I just hope that whatever it is that you're moving through, that you can do so with as much peace and calm and ease, just remembering to come back to your breath, to connect with your light, and give yourself the space and time to let go of whatever energetic, physical baggage needs to be released in this moment in time from your body, from your life, from your being, so that you can feel lighter as you move forward into these next chapters of your life. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm sending you so much love, and I'll talk to you again very soon. Bye.